Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is part 2 of my 36th birthday special. For those who have been following me very loyally, this animation should look very familiar to you. This was used in a video that I created to tell Wheel of Fortune happy 50th anniversary. This was for their 50th anniversary last year. And I remember some of the ways I made some of the stuff that I used to make it. In fact, even the voice of me and, my voice, my recordings of that were used in the video. I still remember I picked a very awkward place to record it. It was in a family restroom at my workplace. So what I did, I just recorded my voice in the restroom. It was like I said, it was it's like, why couldn't I picked a better place? Well, it was soundproof. The door blocked out most of the airport noise, and that's why I've just figured, I can't think of anything else. And I also had to speak up. So this was just a good place for me to record it. So after making the recordings, I put everything in PowerPoint, this animation, and I eventually submitted it to YouTube and Instagram. Over at Instagram, I actually tagged Wheel of Fortune, and I was very surprised and very pleased to know that Wheel of Fortune itself, their Instagram account, they faved it, and they even thanked me, and I made sure it wasn't one of those phony accounts, and it wasn't. It was Wheel's actual account, which was just absolutely wonderful. For those who want to know the purpose of the wheel itself used in this animation, I'll explain it to you. The 24 wedge wheel layout uses 4 wedges from 6 different eras. This was also designed to show that $500, which is the minimum value on the wheel today, was the top dollar value for round number 1 when the show premiered. And when the show premiered, the smallest dollar value for round 1 was just a mere $25. So as you can see how the wheel layout evolved over time. I also included a segment for how the wheel looked when the show became syndicated in 1983. I even included a segment with Daytime Wheel Swan Song from 1989 to 1991. You can see the $50 with the diamond. You can see the $12.50. You can see how the wheel looked in the early 2000s, and then the way it looks now, complete with the $9.50 used in Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, as well as $5,000 being the top value for round number 4. Now this is being shown on a laptop that I got back in the fall, as I knew that Windows was going to drop support for Windows 10, and I did not have a computer that ran on Windows 11. So I got a laptop from Amazon. It's a Surface Pro. It has 2 terabytes of storage. That's a lot of storage, and I was planning on getting less storage, but a relative encouraged me to say, the more memory you get, the more you save. So I ultimately decided on a 2 terabyte hard drive. And around the same time, that's when I started making these wheel layouts for the Just Play spinner. I've been making a ton of these. So let's give this a spin, see how much I can get here. All right, $500, that's the minimum. Let's do a little bit better here. There we go, $800. $4,000 on it? Yeah, I do believe it could be round three's top value on the show today. But anyway, I want to show you some of the way past cool tech that I got last year. Starting with that, and we're going to continue on with this. This may not be tech, but this is something I really am happy to have gotten. It's a giant Super Mario figure of yours truly, Princess Peach. She's about 1 foot tall, and if you press so really interesting figure there. What makes her even more interesting is that if you press down, she'll do that floaty dress thing that she's known for. She's been doing that since the US version of Super Mario Bros. 2, way back in the mid-late 80s. I even did a nice little photo of her playing this Sega Sonic the Hedgehog arcade, my arcade. And here, let me turn this on. As you can see, it lights up. Now, this was supposed to come with 5 games, and ended up coming up with only 4. You have Sonic 1, you have Sonic 2, Sonic Spinball, and Sonic 3D Blast. The 5th game that was supposed to be on here was Sonic CD, which was the reason why I bought this. This was like, this would be a really interesting way to play Sonic CD, but I don't know if you have to do something special, like beat all 4 games with all the Chaos Emeralds. That would be, you know, it may be an unlockable. I don't know for sure. No one has said anything about playing Sonic CD on this thing. But even if Sonic CD is not available, this is still really nice to have. And of course, I got the Switch 2. For those who think this is a Switch 1, oh yeah, I dare you to think again. I got some armor. I always like to keep my tech well protected here. And then one more piece of tech that I got for Christmas. You know, I got the Princess Peach for Christmas. I got this for Christmas, and I got Arcade 1-Up's Infinity Game Board for Christmas. I haven't, you know, even before, you know, eventually I bought this. As soon as I got it, I installed a whole bunch of games for it. I bought a whole bunch of games for it. I even installed some protective screens. Some of you may be wondering, did I get it for the Wheel of Fortune game on it? Yes, absolutely. And some of you may be wondering why I spent $500 on this thing. And, you know, some of you may be wondering why I spent $1,000 on this thing. Well, I didn't spend $1,000 on it. I spent only $500. For $1,000, you got the Infinity Game Table. This is just a smaller version. But still, $500 is quite a bit. But I was willing to get it because I wanted to show my fellow Wheel fans what this game had to offer, even if it's not much. Part of the thing was it had a knockoff of the Changing Keys theme that the show currently uses. By the way, I'm glad Changing Keys is back. Awesome. The 1992 iteration will always be my favorite iteration of Changing Keys, but at least I'm glad that Changing Keys is back. And not using the melody that was used on the show from 1994 to 2001. It's like, no. I mean, the melody was still there, but it was barely recognizable. But yeah, the current theme uses the good melody that was used on the iterations used from 1983 to 1994. So I eventually got it, and I was in for some interesting, and I figured out how the game worked. So I'm going to do a review of it for part 3. So stay tuned for that.